Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Laiken. Dylan's behind the camera today, and that's because I'm introducing a brand new series that we've got coming on the channel for you. We're calling it Crossoverlanding, and that's because the series is going to be featuring our kind of new to us 2007 Toyota Highlander. The Highlander is Toyota's midsize crossover vehicle, which is why we're calling it Crossoverlanding. It's built on the same platform as the Camry, which I love because my first car was a Camry. I loved it, and I was so sad to leave it in Tennessee when we moved out to Utah. So I love having this car. It's still nimble and quick like the Camry, but it's a little bit more, I'll say, rugged and capable. Not quite like our Sequoia, obviously, but it's a good in between. So this 2007 Toyota Highlander is the last year of the first generation of the Highlander. The new ones, if you see them running around, they look good, but they look so different from this one. They don't have that boxy feel to them anymore. So we really love to have grabbed this last one from that generation. This particular model of the 07 Highlander has a 3.3 liter V6 engine. It's also got a 5-speed automatic transmission, and it is all-wheel drive. So it's not four-wheel drive like our Sequoia again, but it is all-wheel drive, and it is a front-wheel drive biased all-wheel drive. We picked up this Highlander in September with 216,000 miles on it. It now has about 224. In a later video, we will be letting you guys know, what things we've had to upgrade and repair since purchasing it. But just like the Sequoia, it's such a reliable vehicle, so we've had almost no problems with it, and we're so pleased with it.
Did we drive it across the country and back in the course of just a few weeks?
We did. This poor little car, almost as soon as we bought it and it was ready to go, we dragged it all the way across the country back to visit family for a few weeks, and it did so well. It killed it. I can't imagine how much we would have spent on gas taking the Sequoia out, so we were thrilled to have the Highlander and not have any problems with it. Did great.
I'm sure some of the audience will be curious to know, what is the fuel economy like on this vehicle? Around town, I'm thinking it's just a hair shy of 20, and on the highway, I think it did about close to 23 or 24, which isn't bad considering the fact it's all-wheel drive and has the V6 instead of the 4-cylinder. So yes, it's been pretty good. It's not like amazing if you're used to having like a traditional sedan, like your Camry was still far better, but for a vehicle that's still decently capable, it's been good. How has the vehicle performed in the snow? That
was the part I was the most excited to get to, because I wasn't sure how it was going to do out here. I wasn't sure how I was going to do out here because I've never had to drive in the snow very much at all in my life, but it's done so well. It actually has a snow mode. I don't really know what that does. You'll have to ask Dylan about that, but I love it. And for anything that I've had to get through, which sometimes up here in our valley is a good bit of snow, it's done so well. I haven't gone into any ditches. I haven't run into anybody's rear end. Does great.
Yeah, so it doesn't have a locking diff. Like the Sequoia can be driven in all-wheel drive, but you can also lock the diff and get true 50-50 torque split. You can't do that with the Highlander. It's just always, it's always got an open diff in the center. But I've been very pleased with how the thing performs in the snow. We haven't really had to test out like traction control system or anything like that so much. But in terms of just the way it performs, on the road with some snow on the ground, with just basic all-season tires, the Highlander has performed really well. I think that snow mode, I think what it does is I think it changes the way the transmission behaves. I think it starts in a higher gear and more gently applies power on loose surfaces. I think that's about all it does, but I don't know. I just from my personal experience, I prefer driving this Highlander in the snow compared to the Sequoia. That's not to say the Sequoia is bad. It's just that the Highlander gives me a little bit more confidence in the event I had to fight a slide or something like that. Just that little bit of less weight makes a huge difference. So, cool. Let's walk around it a little bit.
All right, so we wanted to show you a few features that the Highlander does offer. One thing that we do miss is, unlike the Sequoia, we don't have the powered sliding glass in the back, so it's just one piece. It doesn't slide down, but it's not that big of a deal. We do have so much cargo space back here. As you can see, I keep my ski stuff back here all the time. It just lives back here. And I mean, last night I did a huge grocery run with my skis in the back and had all the room I wanted. So as far as cargo space goes, it's awesome. We'll come around and look at the back seat. It's also super roomy back there. Oh, there's trash.
Oh.
That's my paper plate.
Oh, that's so embarrassing.
It's because I had dessert on the go. But anyway, as you can see, there's plenty of room for, you know, trash and backpacks and hardware and people, if that's your thing. Because some people have friends. Anyway, that's about all I had to say about that. You can see it's not the most cosmetically perfect vehicle. It has a little bit of sunburn on the roof. It's got some paint chips on both ends. But honestly, for us, we just wanted a tough little car that's going to be able to go out and play around in the snow and play around in the dirt. And if we get a little chip in it, it's not going to matter too much. So that really didn't bother us.
And for the price we paid for the vehicle, cosmetic stuff does not matter at all. We got a great deal on the thing.
All right, and then up here in the front seat, I love the whole console deal that this Highlander has. I've got 2 cup holders. I've got great cargo space down there, and then I've got underneath even more where I keep my little inverter. And right here you can see, again, my personal favorite feature, the snow mode. I don't really know what it does, but okay, so that is the Highlander. We do have some things in the works for you that are going to be involving this. We're going to be taking a trip with it. You know, the point of this was so that we wouldn't have to load up the Sequoia for really long trips if we didn't have to. You know, we can do a quick, easy trip with the bare minimum, and it'll still be lots of fun. So keep an eye out for that. We do have a couple upgrades in the works for this car. We've got a roof basket that needs to go on. It's gonna make it look a little bit sportier. Really excited about that. We're also looking around for some cheap, newer RAV4 or Highlander wheels to throw on here. Also just to give it a little bit more of a sportier look. But anyway, let us know in the comments, what do you want to know about the Highlander, or what do you want to see us do with the Highlander? We'd love to hear your thoughts, so let us know down there. And if you're not following us, go ahead and subscribe, because you're going to want to see what we do with this and, of course, our adventures with the Sequoia. Anyway, thanks for watching.